7:45. This is a Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. Director General of Archaeological Department says it is not necessary to get the approval from the international community when implementing programs to safeguard the unique identity of the country. The government plans to implement the recommendations of the Presidential Commission report on Easter Sunday attack within the next few weeks. Effective decisions will be taken for the benefit of the fishing community within the next few weeks. Upstick in COVID-19 case tally as 336 more tests positive. COVID-19 recoveries in Sri Lanka surpassed 61,000. Prices of 27 essential items reduced from Monday. The government has ordered another 18 million doses of Covishield from India. In news overseas, Myanmar coup, teachers join growing protests against military. And in sports news, Quinton de Kock will not continue as South Africa's test captain after the Rawalpindi test. Those are the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the local news. Director General of Archaeological Department, Professor Andra Gamage, says it is not necessary to get the approval of the international community when implementing programs to safeguard the unique identity of the country. The Director General made these remarks while addressing a media conference to brief about the status of the Kurindimale archaeological site. The media conference was held in Colombo today. Addressing the media personnel, he further said the main objective of the government is to safeguard and preserve the artifacts and sites which are of national importance. In the meantime, it is the duty of the department to expose the truth of some archaeologically important sites. The exploration and research activities are done by the 16-member expert committee appointed by the Cabinet of Ministers. The Kurindimale site was a native place of the ancient Buddhist temple named Kurindi Viharaya. The Kurindimale was also earlier called Kurindigama. There are well-referred writings of the English rulers, namely John Still, H.C. Bell and Parker, who were in charge of the north during the 1900s to 1948 period in Sri Lanka. State Minister Kanchana Vijayasekara says effective decisions will be taken for the benefit of the fishing community. The minister promised that decisions will be taken to upgrade the fishing community, which was affected due to the non-implementation of some welfare programs in the past. The state minister made these remarks at a meeting held at the ministry with the representatives of the fishing community. Sri Lanka's confirmed COVID-19 cases count saw an upstick today as 336 more persons were tested positive for the virus. With the new development, the total novel coronavirus cases detected in the country has increased to 67,451. The epidemiology data shows that 5,651 active cases are still under medical care at selected hospitals and treatment centres. However, 61,461 persons who were infected with the virus have been discharged upon returning to health. In the meantime, the death toll from the virus outbreak stands at 339. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. The prices of 27 essential goods have been reduced and will be maintained for a period of 3 months, says the Minister of Trade, Mandula Gunawardena. Accordingly, the price reduction will come into effect from Monday, February 8th. The relevant items will be sold only through Lanka Sathose, cooperatives and queue shops, the minister said, addressing a press conference held at the Ministry of Trade today. State Minister Sudarshani Fernandopulle says that around 140,000 persons received AstraZeneca Covishield vaccine so far. Many sectors and organizations have requested for the vaccine, but the minister said a final decision will be taken on this matter in the near future. The government has ordered another 18 million doses from India. These doses are expected to reach Sri Lanka by mid of this month. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. Director General of the Archaeological Department says it is not necessary to obtain the approval from the international community when implementing programs to safeguard the unique identity of the country. The government plans to implement the recommendations of the Presidential Commission report on Easter Sunday attack within the next few weeks. Effective decisions will be taken for the benefit of the fishing community within the next few weeks. Upstick in COVID-19 cases tally as 336 more tests positive. COVID-19 recoveries in Sri Lanka surpass 61,000. prices of 27 essential items reduced from Monday. The government has ordered another 18 million doses of Covishield from India. And that was the local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The main news story for tonight, Minister Mahindananda Alutkamage says that the government plans to implement the recommendations of the Presidential Commission report on Easter Sunday attack within the next few weeks. The minister made these remarks while addressing the Navalapiti Youth Front of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna today. Addressing the audience, the minister further said the Easter Sunday probe was slightly delayed due to corona outbreak just a few months after President Gotabaya Rajapaksa took office. However, the government will expedite the process on implementing the final report of the commission, the minister added. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Later tonight, the residents and motorists complain that the sudden excavation work and road work in the Pamakkada Road adjoining WAD Silva Mawatha in Ballavata area has caused many hardships. This has caused immense difficulties not only to the local motorists but also to the outside vehicles. As a result, a traffic congestion is seen at this place every day during the peak hours. The residents also are clueless about the real cause for this sudden excavation work. The resident points out that it has become a serious issue in Ballavata, WA Silva Mawatha and Pamakkada Road. This is for the attention of the RDA, City Traffic Police and Colombo Municipal Council. And that came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Headlines of the world news. Myanmar coup. Teachers join growing protests against the military. ICMR Seror survey, 1 in 5 Indians exposed to COVID-19. COVID-19, no contracts awarded yet for hotel quarantine period and plan. Those are the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the world news. A civil disobedience movement in Myanmar is gaining momentum, with teachers and students protesting against the Monday's military coup. Demonstrators at a university in the biggest city, Yangon, chanted support for jail leader Aung San Suu Kyi and wore red ribbons, her party's color. Ms. Suu Kyi and other leaders have been held since military coup. Earlier, the military detained another senior leader from her National League for Democracy party. More than 21% of India's adult population have been exposed to COVID-19, according to the latest National Sero survey. The Indian Council for Medical Research noted that 21.4% of 28,589 people surveyed above the age of 18 showed exposure to the virus. But it also said that a large part of the population is still vulnerable to COVID-19. India reported 12,408 new COVID cases during the last 24 hours. No contracts have been yet awarded to hotels to take part in England's new quarantine scheme, Number 10 has said. From 15th February, all those arriving from 33 COVID variant hotspots have to stay in a hotel for 10 nights. Downing Street said that discussions were continuing, but it was important to get arrangements right from the start. Labour have criticised what it says are life-threatening delays and said it should be extended to all international travellers, not just some countries. And to conclude the world news, the headlines once again. Myanmar coup, teachers join growing protests against the military. ICMR Sero survey, 1 in 5 Indians exposed to COVID-19. COVID-19, no contracts awarded yet for hotel quarantine plan. And that was the world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In development news, creating a historic landmark in the Sri Lankan mobile sector, Micro Electric International Private Limited Colombo, existing for over 25 years, will start the manufacture of Sri Lanka's first smart mobile phone. Chairman, Micro Electric International Private Limited, Dhammika Samaravikrama, said that they have already signed a joint venture with Ludul Company of Korea, which is a leading supplier of mobile and TV component manufacturing company in Korea. Since the year 2015, Ludul Korea has been supplying electrical components, LCD screens, mobile accessories to all major TV and smartphone brands in the world, and they also opened their Chinese factory in the year 2016. With that, we move on to sports news. Quinton de Kock will not continue as South Africa's test captain after the Rawalpindi test, with coach Mark Boucher saying that it is important to release him from that burden of leading all three sides in the international arena. But it is not a decision the team needs to make in a hurry, because the disappointing and disruptive development of Australia postponing their tour of South Africa means that there isn't any test cricket in the horizon for South Africa. There is a sports news, business news coming up.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
In business news, SLT Mobitel, Sri Lanka's national ICT and mobile services provider, announced the launch of Empower, a bundled service offer for the private sector for the first time in Sri Lanka. The launch of Empower has held to coincide with the National Independence Day. The success of the bundle offers among the state sector employees and the growing demand for affordable smartphones and connectivity solutions paved the way for the launch of Empower, which will no doubt enable private sector employees to purchase quality smartphones at an affordable price, coupled with attractive voice and data packages. Mobitel's Empower builds on the country's vision to improve digital readiness and efficiency of all Sri Lankans. That was the business news, and economic news follows.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh, no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And in economic news, Sri Lanka, for the first time in its history, has been able to save over $300 million, almost 50 billion rupees, from not importing milk powder from overseas in the year 2020. This is a major plus point achieved due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Last year, Sri Lanka only imported milk in limited volume, according to the latest customs data. That is economic news and the weather report to conclude.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And finally, the weather report. The Met Department says few showers will occur in the eastern, north central and Nuwa provinces and in the Matale and Nuwara districts. Fairly strong gusty winds up to 50 km per hour can be expected in the northern, north central and eastern provinces and in the eastern slopes of the central hills. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the Sabaragamuwa province and in the Kalutara, Gaul and Matara districts after 1 p.m. Fairly heavy falls, about 50 millimeters, can be expected at some places. Misty conditions can be expected in the western, central, Sabaragamuwa and southern provinces during the morning hours. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. And before we conclude this bulletin of news, let's get back to the headlines once again. The Director General of the Archaeological Department says it is not necessary to get the approval of the international community when implementing programs to safeguard the unique identity of the country. The government plans to implement the recommendations of the Presidential Commission report on Easter Sunday attacks within the next few weeks. Effective decisions will be taken for the benefit of the fishing community within the next few weeks. Uptick in COVID-19 cases tally as 336 more test positive. COVID-19 recoveries in Sri Lanka surpassed 61,000. Prices of 27 essential items reduced from Monday. The government has ordered another 18 million doses of Covishield from India. In news overseas, Myanmar coup, teachers join growing protests against the military. And in sports news, Quinton de Kock will not continue as South Africa's test captain after the Rawalpindi test. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news.